Hey everybody, it's your Uncle Bear. It is a rainy day in Joplin, Missouri today, and according to the young lady behind the fuel desk at the Flying J here, she said it's supposed to be raining for the next few days. I just took a shower. There was a little lull in the rain on my way back to the truck, just in case. I carry a little umbrella. Buddy of mine I told a buddy of mine that one time, and he said, yeah, he said, just go ahead and mail me your man card. You don't need that. Whatever. You know what? If it keeps me dry, I'm good. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk to you about today, we are coming up on that season to where you're going to either have the sniffles or nasal congestion or something along that line. And it could be a cold. It's probably not allergies because it's cooling off outside. So it's probably not allergies unless you're like South Texas. Then it could be allergies, all that dust flying around down there. But it could be what we called in the military the crud. And that's basically change of seasons, temperatures start changing and stuff, and your sinuses need to readjust sometimes. Some people never get it. I always have. But yeah, it's just like I say, you get that crud in your nose, and your nose gets stuffy sometimes. It passes, but it's a pain in the ass until it does. But one thing I want to talk to you about, we are actually coming close, and it may be lurking out there in the shadows already, cold and flu season. And there are while you will never be completely guarded against catching stuff, as a former Navy corpsman, I will give you a few tips. It has been probably 20 some years since I've had the flu. I did have like a 24-hour COVID. I took a test. It was COVID. Anyway, but yeah, I haven't had the flu in over 20 years. And it's basically just being vigilant against it. Now, one thing I do is make sure you keep your truck clean, A lot of guys use Armor All and stuff for the dashes. I've always used Clorox wipes, and I just put a latex after I get done dusting everything down, with my feather duster. I put on a latex glove so my hand doesn't smell like Clorox all day. And, of course you can use the generic ones too. It don't matter. They're all disinfectant wipes. But anyway, and they kill 99.9%. I want to know what that 0.1% of the germs is. That must be a humdinger. That must be like a Terminator germ or something. But they all say it, it kills 99.9% of the germs. What the hell's that other one? Anyway, so yeah, wipe everything down, because you get out of the truck and you're touching door handles and all kinds of stuff. I mean, that you don't even realize you're touching. Money. All the ones in your wallet, I mean, could have been in the ass crack of a stripper. You don't know. But anyway, so yeah, that all of that stuff. Money is a big one, because I mean it does. It travels through hand after hand after hand. Half of these schmoes out here don't wash their hands, so so like I say, wipe down your cab when you get back to the truck. And I was doing this way before COVID. But every time you get back in your truck, have you some Germ-X or Purell or some kind of hand sanitizer, alcohol based, and get it on your hands, because like I say, you're touching money, you're touching door handles, all that stuff. Germs are everywhere. Now, flu virus and cold virus are both, you can get both from touch or airborne. Okay. Now, airborne bacteria, what it will do when you go in and use the restroom and you're washing your hands, just take some of that water and wash out the ends of your nostrils, okay? Because what airborne viruses will do is they'll get in there and they'll rest in your nose and also in the back of your throat. Drink lots of warm liquids. It doesn't matter if it's hot tea, hot cocoa, coffee, hot water. Doesn't matter. But that virus will rest in the back of your throat until it decides to attack you. If you're drinking those warm liquids, it'll rinse it out, it'll flush it out of there and down into your stomach where the stomach acid can kill it, okay? But, like I say, every time you get back to the truck, use that hand sanitizer. Another thing that I do is keep your medicines with you. Buy your medicines at home, at your local drugstore, before you go out on the road, because after 36 years of this shit, I learned early on I needed way back when I was clean shaven, and I needed a can of, well, I still shave up here and in my neck, but anyway, I needed a can of shaving cream. Ran out on the road. Of course, back then I was out for 2 months at a time. But anyway, I bought a little bitty can of shaving cream at a truck stop, and I think it was like $6 for that little bitty can, half the size of a normal can of like Barbasol or Foamy or something. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm not doing that again. And I don't. I make damn sure I don't run out of anything. But I bring, when I'm on the road, if I do get a cold, which does happen once in a while, I bring Alka-Seltzer plus cold medicine. I get the non-drowsy, but I get the effervescent tablets because for some reason it works better than the pills for me, and also that water flushes the cold virus out of your system. It helps flush that out, because that's what you need to do. You need to flush that stuff out of your system, that cold virus out of your system. But take that, vitamin C. I always keep that in the truck. I keep Imodium AD in the truck in case I get a bad case of food, because we know that happens too, don't we? Yeah, like I say, just keep that stuff. Keep some of that stuff with you. Ibuprofen, keep that with you in the truck. But be careful what you keep with you, because stuff like Sudafed and Actifed and stuff. I'm not sure how DOT is with that stuff anymore. Now that it's the stuff that you got to ask the pharmacist for, because they use it to make meth and shit like that. It's like, come on, man. yeah, that little box. I'm using that little box of Sudafed to make meth. I don't know how they look at it. I don't care. I'll still carry it in the truck, because if I get a cold, I'm gonna need something to make me feel better, right? So anyway, it might be something for you to ask a DOT cop and comment. Let me know how they feel about it. I don't know. I'm not going to ask. I don't ask permission at my age for stuff like that. That's just dumb. Anyway, and every day for probably the last 15, 20 years, I take a multivitamin. Do your research, pick the right one, something that's got everything you need in it. I also take a vitamin C supplement. Vitamin C boosts your immune system. I don't drink a lot of juice because, Derek Stroop, comedian, he did a bit about drinking juice, and he said, yeah, 5-year-olds are built for juice. He said, you give me a second glass of juice and I'm gonna poop my pants. And that's, it's true. It shouldn't go through you, but literally. But yeah, anyway, vitamin C, and I take a D3 because your skin is important also, and I also use it, in the winter time. We're getting into winter time now, so I use moisturizing cream. I personally use Gold Bond Men's Daily Essentials cream. Works pretty good because you get I live in South Dakota, and during the wintertime when it's 10 below, you do get itchy. And yeah, I don't want to be scratching all the time. So I use that. Yeah. So just be, like I say, be vigilant. Wipe down the interior of your truck with those disinfectant wipes, and keep your hands clean. Keep your hands sanitized. Remember to rinse out the ends of your nose and drink warm liquids and take your vitamins. And that the old adage, my mom used and my grandma used, and eat your fruits and vegetables. They're good for you, and they'll help you not get sick. And drink plenty of water. Drink plenty of water. Like I say, that's what your body needs to flush out the stuff that's going to hurt you and make you sick. So that's all I got for today, kids. Be safe out there and stay well.